Welcome to a Cardano and an ICP update. So in this video, I want to talk about the fact that I think an altcoin season is coming very soon, and let me explain why. So basically, not only ICP and Cardano, but most altcoins are now in a second wave correction, and support levels have been respected on most of the altcoin. As you can see, Near, for example, respected the levels. Chainlink respected the levels, AVAX respected the levels, VeChain, Jasmy, and of course Cardano and ICP. And I think a third wave is about to start in maybe the next 2 or 3 months, and that's when the altcoin season will be happening. Now let me explain why. When you look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, as you can see, Bitcoin dominance has been going up since September of 2022. And I believe Bitcoin dominance is very close to topping, and when it tops, and I do believe it will top, when it tops, I think it will start breaking down like it did over here, for example. And that's when we will get an altcoin season. We got one last cycle and we got one in the cycle before that. So I honestly don't see why it could not happen again. Also, the monthly RSI on this chart is almost overbought, and that has never happened before. As you can see right now, we hit an RSI all-time high, so, you have to keep that in mind as well. We have to get a correction at some point, and I believe this will top in the next 1 to 2 months, and then Bitcoin dominance will start going down. And that will go perfectly well with the fact that most altcoins are now in a second wave move down and are ready for a third wave move to the upside. And as you know, third waves are usually the most impulsive, so we can expect something very big to happen very soon, as long as we hold the support levels. And for Cardano, the support level for the first wave, well, the invalidation point is at about 22 cents. And for ICP, it's at about $2.83. So as long as we hold these support levels, I think there's a chance that we go in the third wave very soon. And as you can see, right now it's Bitcoin season. It's nowhere near altcoin season. And if you check out this chart, as you can see here in 2017, well, by the end of 2017 and in the beginning of 2018, we had an altcoin season. And 4 years later, as you can see right here, in the beginning of 2021, the altcoin season started and it continued until, let's say, June. So the altcoin season took about 6 months. And here in 2017, it took about, let's say, 4 months. So what can we expect from the next altcoin season? Well, I think it's going to last somewhere between 4 to 6 months if we want to do what we did right here. And no, I don't think this right here was an altcoin season, because sure, you can say that this chart shows that this was an altcoin season. But if you look at the price chart, when was that? August to September of 2022. If you look at the price chart, nothing happened in 2022 on most altcoins. As you can see, both of these were in a bear market. Now, if you look at some other altcoins, if you want, for example, Near, Chainlink, Chainlink went up, but do you call this an altcoin season? I don't think this is an altcoin season, so that's why I don't want to call this an altcoin season. Here we wanted to go into an altcoin season, but it wasn't enough because, this was only a pump that we got after most altcoins went to the bear market low right here. So, of course, this chart sees this as an altcoin season, but if you look at the chart, sure, the price for Cardano, for example, it went up 268%, and on ICP, it went up 650%. But you also have to keep in mind that during this time, if you want to take this low right here, Bitcoin also went up 200%. So, yes, the altcoins went up, but they probably went up because of Bitcoin. So keep that in mind. So yeah, and as you can see, after this altcoin season right here, we had a few fake altcoin seasons. For example, this one, and this one. So, something to keep in mind. Now, another thing I want to look at is the fact that the market is currently in extreme fear, which leads me to believe that now is the perfect time to actually buy. Now, of course, this is not financial advice, but usually when the market is in extreme fear, that's a good time to buy. And when the market is in extreme greed, that's a good time to sell. That's what most people say. Anyways. So I believe we are very close to bottoming and this second wave move down on ADA and ICT, and we might get a third wave soon, like I said. And also, if you look at the monthly returns on Bitcoin, if you check out what happened in the previous years in August, I mean, we closed red in most of the years besides the bull market years. So for example, in 2013, we closed green because it was a bull market, in 2017 as well, and in 2021 as well, and in 2020, but I think this was just because we were going up after we went down in the pandemic low. So if you ignore this right here, we only went up in August when it was a bull market. And that bull market was, by the way, a year after the halving. If you check out the halving performance, for example, in August, this year, it's probably going to close red. In the previous halving year, it closed green, but it was only 3%. And in 2016, which was another halving year, it closed red. So, you know, August was never really the best month. And if you look at September, I mean, that's pretty much the same thing. I think Bitcoin will continue going sideways until October or November. Well, most likely October. Because if you look at the price history, I mean, Bitcoin has only gone down in September, except for a few years. So, you know, it's probably safe to say that Bitcoin will go down in September as well. And I don't think it's going to go down that much. I mean, it's probably just going to go sideways. And if it goes sideways, that's when the Bitcoin dominance chart usually goes up. Because as you can see, for example, on the Bitcoin chart, it has been doing nothing for the past 6 months, but the dominance has been going up. So I think it's safe to say that we might keep going sideways for another month or so before we actually do something. Now, I do expect October to be a very, very bullish month because, as you can see, I mean, each year it did something, and it only went down in October when it was a bear market. For example, in 2018, this was a bear market, and in 2014, which was also a bear market. But it did not even go down in the previous bear market right here. I mean, we closed green even in a bear market. So I think it's safe to say that October will be a very good month for Bitcoin. And if that's the case, if Bitcoin goes up in October, I think that's when the altcoin season will happen as well, because yes, Bitcoin will go up, but altcoins will be heading in a third wave move to the upside, and they will be reaching new all-time highs, hopefully. And yeah, Bitcoin will not be able to keep up. Even if Bitcoin goes to like 90 to 100K by the end of the year, that's not going to be enough, because altcoins will probably go up a lot more than that. So, you know, well, not more than 90K. I mean, they will probably go up a bigger percentage. Now, if you check out the quarterly returns, as you can see, Q4 has always been a good quarter for Bitcoin. As you can see, in the previous halving year in 2020, Bitcoin went up 170% in Q4. And in 2016, it went up 58%. Now, if you check out what happened in the year after the halving, in 2017, it went up 200%. And in 2021, it only went up 5%. But as you can see, the average return on investment for Q4 is 88%, and the median is 57%. So I think it's safe to say that something bullish is about to happen. And also, here when it closed red, this was a bear market. In 2018, this was also a bear market. 2019 was an accumulation year, and 2014 was also a bear market. So I think it's safe to say that we will not close red in Q4 this year. Now, if we talk about my bull market targets for Cardano and ICP, so I think ICP can go to maybe like $68 in the third wave before getting a fourth and then a fifth wave. Now, it's not guaranteed that we will get a fifth wave move to the upside. Maybe we'll only get the third wave and then the price will fail. I mean, that could happen, of course. But as long as support levels are being respected, I see no reason why that would happen. But I mean, like I said, it can happen. And for Cardano, I think Cardano can easily go to the $5 level in the third wave right here before getting a fourth and a fifth wave to maybe like $8. But the fourth and fifth waves are not guaranteed to happen, because if you look at the previous cycle, maybe you can say that the third wave ended right here, the fourth wave ended right, let's say here, and the fifth wave ended here. And the high that we got right here was only an A, B, C structure. And I mean, that would also be the case. And if that's the case, as you can see in the previous cycle, in the fifth wave or the third wave, whatever you want to call it, the price went to the 1.618 level. And if we want to repeat that, I think we need to get to at least the 1.618 level again, and maybe even a bit above it, because before the pump that we got right here, we had the pandemic low, which invalidated this first wave move to the upside, and we had to pretty much restart it. So, that's also something you need to keep in mind. Now, ICP is a bit more difficult to predict because this was pretty much launched during a bear market. Well, it was launched in 2021. The bull market was still going, but I mean, the altcoin season was pretty much done right here. So ICP was pretty much launched at the end of the altcoin season. I mean, even if you check the altcoin season chart, as you can see, this chart started going down in June of 2021. And when was ICP launched? In May of 2021. So, also something to keep in mind. I know people like to look at this chart and say, well, this chart went from $650 to about $2, so it's dead, right? Well, I don't think so. I want to think this right here as the real all-time high. I'm not this right here, because this was just type, and this could also have been market manipulations, so you have to also keep that in mind. Because if you look at the price chart and the market cap chart, for example, the price chart looks like crap, to be honest, and it does not look good when you look at it. But if you look at the market cap chart, you will see that it does not look that bad compared to the price chart. And as you can see, the all-time high market cap is only at $53 billion. And in the bear market, we went down to about $1 billion, which is still a huge drop, but it's not as bad as the price drop. So, now, of course, the circulating supply could also be a reason why the price has dropped so much, because as I have mentioned in my previous videos, this coin gets like 100 million new ICP each year or so. So of course the price goes down, even if the market cap stays the same. But I still think there's potential for ICP to go up a lot, because right now the market cap is only at like $3 billion and the 2021 all-time high is 53. So if we can get to at least like 53 billion again, I mean, that would be let's say 17.5x from where we're at right now. And if we multiply that with 7.07, we get 124. So if we get to this previous all-time high of the market cap, we can get to like $124. And I mean, that would be very close to the 1.618 extension I have on the chart. So we might as well touch the extension before we go in the bear market. So I think that's how the cycle is going to play out. Again, I think it will only play out like that if we hold these support levels. If we do not hold these support levels, then the structure will get invalidated and we will get new bear market lows, which will not be good for either ICP or Cardano. So, keep that in mind as well. Also, I want to quickly talk about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is not really going anything right now, but it is holding support levels, and maybe we'll get to like 70k in the third wave right here, but this is not really an impulsive move and it could fail at any minute, which means this fourth wave right here could always go deeper. And if that happens, we will most likely go to the 44k level. And that's not going to be the most bullish thing in my opinion, because if that happens, then I think there's a chance that the ADA first wave move to the outside gets invalidated. So this whole move right here, because like I said, the invalidation point is at 42 cents and now we're like 11 cents away from that. So if that happens, then this will most likely get invalidated. Now, something you need to know is the fact that on the bull market support band, the green line is preparing to go above the red line, which, if you can remember from my previous videos, is a good sign that the low is in, because here, for example, after the green line went above the red line, it confirmed that this low was in, and then the price exploded to the upside, and then we got a correction when the red line got above the green line again. So, that's also something you need to keep in mind. Now on the ICP chart, it does not really look like we will go above the red line anytime soon, so maybe we'll go down a bit more, which would not be bearish, but we would break the trend line, which was respected multiple times. So we'll see what happens with this as well. We were oversold on the daily, so, maybe it's a sign that we have bottomed, but we could always go down a bit more. So at least on ICP, we have more downside potential, but on a Cardano we cannot go down more because it will invalidate everything. ICP can still go down like another 60% from where we're at right now, but Cardano is only allowed to go down another 30%. So, you know, these altcoins are quite different, but they share a very similar structure, which is this 1-2 setup. So, you know, we'll have to see what happens. And that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe leave a like and check out the new YouTube memberships. And also subscribe to the channel. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers and it would mean a lot if you subscribed. Anyways, I will see you in the next one.